We be live. Shalom, shalom, everyone. Make sure you like this stream right now, right at the beginning of the show. Don't ask any questions. Just like the stream. If you're new here, you will soon see that your likes were not wasted. It was worth it. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Jean, for being here. Jean is highlighting your comments. First of all, at the beginning of the show, highlighting the people who have confirmed. Oh, let me actually do this. Oh, this is actually a good confirmation that the audio is working. Guys, make sure you mention in the live chat that you're liking the stream. I am going to be reviewing a video that would demonstrate so effectively how it's so easy for many Muslims to blame the Jews for everything. I could not, I watched this video and then I went to sleep and then I woke up and I thought I had the weirdest dream. I wish this video was real because because it's just such it's so ridiculous. I was like, that would have been funny if this was a real video. I would have made a show about this to show people how ridiculous some Muslims are, just finding everything to blame anything and everything on the Jews. And then I went and saw the video again. I was like, holy shit, that wasn't a dream. This video was real. This is actually a real video. I went to the comments of this video that we're about to review. I was like, there must be some of his followers that are calling him out on this, that this is just pushing it. This is just this is insane. This is some level of lunacy. I was like, some like the Muslim followers of this channel, that, by the way, the channel we're going to review today is called Smile to Jannah, which is one of the main English-speaking Islamic channels in the world. The top three, again, you have to remember this. The top three are Muhammad Hijab YouTube channel, Ali Dava YouTube channel, and then Smile to Jannah YouTube channel. This guy, his name is Zizek. All of them based in the UK. I think Muhammad Hijab is Egyptian, and Ali Dava and this guy are Pakistani. So this is why you see Muhammad Hijab speaking Arabic more confidently, because his mother tongue is Arabic. But these two, like Ali Dava, is not very good in Arabic and stuff like that. Right. So this video that I'm about to review today, should I just do a spoiler right at the beginning? Or should we just no, let's just go through it together. Let's just go through it together. By the way, let's see what the ad at the beginning is before we go to the rest of the video. Let's see what he's advertising.
Guys, I'm sure you're aware of the catastrophe that's going on in Lebanon. I am raising money with a reliable charity, One Ummah, that will help get your donations to those people that require it the most. I will leave a link in the description. Assalamu alaikum.
Well, I wonder, why do you guys not have okay, so even if you're tribal, even if other human beings who are not Muslim don't fucking matter to you guys, okay, why don't I see you guys? You guys know Sudan and Yemen is still fucked right now, right? The people in Yemen and people in Sudan, like, where are your charities? Why is it just Palestine, Lebanon, Palestine, Lebanon, Palestine, Lebanon? Where is your charity for Muslims, I don't know, in China? I don't know. Yeah.
Guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. I knew it, but I just couldn't pin it down. So I'm sure you've heard of the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. The fight.
Guys, remember this part where he says, I knew it, as if he knew something and then he found an evidence for. So I'm not going to go back to this part where he says, I knew it, but just remember this level of confidence, so that we see when we go through this entire video, to see how did he manage to get to this level of realization and confidence. Let me just write that down. Because I'm too lazy to come back and replay this I knew it part. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna write it. There we go. So let's continue.
Fight in which you had the living legend Mike Tyson face Jake Paul, and we ended up being the losers. 60 million people worldwide watched this bout, where you had Mike.
Wait, how are you? How are you the losers? People find entertaining what they want to, what they're entertained about, and then watch. They get entertained by what they find entertaining. How did they lose?
Watched this bout where you had Mike Tyson, 60, fighting Jake Paul, half of his age. Let's have a look at the tweet of Mike Tyson, which encapsulates the whole situation. Here he says that in June, he was about to die. Yes, he had 8 blood transfusions, half of his blood was taken out. The guy was in no fit shape to be fighting somebody in his prime. The fight took place November 15th, but as I'm sure you are now familiar with the way these powers that be work, there is a concept known as bread and circuses. In other words, give the people a dinner and a show. Keep them busy with that sort of stuff, and the decisions that you actually want to make that are actually going to affect people, yeah, that's the time to do them. Because I'm
Okay, so the bread and circus quote comes from ancient Rome, if I remember correctly. And you are talking about a centralized authority or the government or the rulers using bread and circus on purpose as a method of appeasing people. This is not the same as what we are, the Tyson verse, the Jake Paul, what's his name? I forgot. I don't know these people's names. Whatever. The fight that we just happened between Tyson and one of the Pauls, I can't tell the difference between the two brothers. One of them, right? That was a private. These are private companies. These are private individuals. The only way that you could say that this is the same as what the Romans were talking about is if you could show to us with evidence that this is coming from the government, or else this is not your analogy, your reference is not relevant here. I think these people come from backwards places in the world, like, I don't know, like Egypt or Pakistan, where the governments are so they are so influential and meddling in the media that they control the media. So for example, countries like Egypt, countries like Pakistan, countries like Iran, the government it's pretty much like ancient Rome, like, not pretty much like, but it's more relatable, it's more understandable for why you would see like the government in Russia, the government in Iran, the government in Pakistan, they have these propaganda or these narratives that they want either the state media or even private media, privately owned media. There are some red lines that they cannot cross. So the governments or the centralized authority or the rulers have some control over what people are consuming, what content people are consuming, to better match their narrative of the centralized authority. That doesn't work in free countries. We're talking about America here. We're talking about Western European countries. This is different from your origin countries where you guys come from. I know you guys are in the UK, but your mind is still backwards. You cannot comprehend that you're living in more advanced societies, that power is decentralized, that media is not controlled by a centralized authority, unless you're a fucking moron or a conspiracy theorist that you think the Zionist, which is so weird because the picture that he used is the Illuminati for his cover, which again shows, guys, the level of insanity. I don't even know how to deal with this, okay? Because the conspiracies have been mixed. The conspiracies of these people, no, he wants to blame the United States and the Zionists, the dirty Zionists, but they put the picture. This is his cover. This is the cover. I stole his cover to put on our cover. This is what the fuck has Illuminati got to do with any of this thing? So he has the United States and the picture of the Illuminati. These are conspiracies just basically being merged together. We had people saying the powers that be that are controlling everything, they're the devil worshippers or the Satanists. Some people were like the lizard people. And then we had the Illuminati, the Freemasons. And then we had the Jews. The Jews are behind everything. And people were like, which is it? Like, okay, so which conspiracy is correct? So instead of choosing one, I'd be like, how about we just say yes to all of them and just make them all the same fucking thing? So the bankers, the Jews, the Zionists, the Illuminati, the lizard people, the Satanists, the devil worshippers, the aliens, yes to all of them. And why not just act like they're all the same fucking thing? How about not just simplify? We are God people. God people like to simplify the world just to make sense of everything. Just in the same way that they want to explain everything in the world by just saying God did it. Why not just we are simple-minded people. Of course, we have to be simple-minded people. We believe in God. We're idiots. So if we're this stupid to try to explain the complexity with the world with the God did it explanation, I have to find something equivalent on the QAnon. Thank you so much, D. On the evil side, I cannot. My simple-minded brain cannot have multiple evil entities in the world. They all have to be the same fucking thing for me to be able to simplify my explanation of the world and act like I understand everything. That's how it works, apparently. So let's continue.
Decisions that you actually want to make that are actually going to affect people, yeah, that's the time to do them. Because I'm sure you're aware there was something called the Roman Colosseum, and the emperors did not want people to butt their noses into their business. So they had the whole gladiator tournament in the Colosseum. As the people were busy there with the bread and circuses, they made the actual decisions.
This is a false analogy. If this is so, he's not providing any evidence that this is the entertainment of these shows. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he will provide any evidence. Okay, he will provide some evidence. He's basically saying that because some people use as entertainment as a method of distraction, therefore, every time I see entertainment, that is a centralized authority or people, the rulers, using it as a distraction. Just because some people did it, which logical fallacy is this? This is both a false analogy, also a hasty generalization. I saw an example of some people using entertainment as a method of distraction. Therefore, if I see entertainment that people are being distracted by, this must have been planned. This is your brain on fucking Islam. This is how I don't know. I almost used the R word. This is how stupid, how moronic. Okay, the R word was so strong, but it's now not PC to say anymore. I think a strong word to use is moronic. Moronic is good. This is how moronic these people are. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. So anytime I see some music, a show that is popular. So by this argument, Game of Thrones was also trying to distract us from the evils of Zionism. I mean, oh my God! By this argument, every soccer game, the Olympics, anything that is not talking about the evils of Zionism must be the Zionists themselves distracting us. I mean, what form of entertainment would survive this analysis? Unless you have some evidence. Let me see.
So what was this fight distracting us from? Have a look at this article from The Hill. Again, notice the date, November.
Wait. What was this? What was this fight distracting us from? Here's an article that was published by mainstream media. Guys, do I need to say more? What was this fight trying to distract us from? Let me show you an article. By the way, the news that he's going to be showing us is being discussed on every single mainstream media. Do I need to say more? Let me see what this trying to distract us from. So I don't know. Are these people behind the curtains so fucking powerful to manage to set up this fight with no evidence for us to be able to show that the Zionists were behind this fight, while at the same time the Zionists that control all the media, they weren't able to stop these articles from being published? Don't they control mainstream media? What the fuck? This is You're citing Western media as the published by Western media. I wish like he at least like showed us like I don't know, an Egyptian media or a Pakistani media. This is Western media publishing the very thing that you're saying that they're trying to distract us from. Maybe it's just the nature of people that most people are interested in watching a fight than reading the news. This is the nature of people. But every fucking single mainstream media has been covering this. Politicians, like, let's see what he saw. What is the distraction? Let's read this.
From the hill.
Also, YouTube, Zizesh, how come your channel is you guys act like you guys claim that Google is being controlled by the Zionists? Google, who owns YouTube. How's your channel, sir? I am a Zionist. How you are anti-Israel? How is your channel so fucking big then? Why aren't the powers that be not taking your subscribers away from you? I mean, nobody would be able to tell that your channel is not growing because they're taking away your subscribers. Why don't they just give your subscribers to me? I'm a Zionist. You're not. How is your channel so big then? How does a Zionist control all the media and the anti-Zionist channels on YouTube growing so fast? I don't know. This is too. Why am I taking this so seriously? These are so stupid.
Hill again noticed the date, November 15th, and they reported that the Pentagon failed their 7th audit.
Okay, so the Pentagon failed the 7th audit. If this is a major source of fighting in United States. Every fucking time this happens, they make a huge noise about it. What the fuck are you talking about? The politicians in the United States, in Congress, they fucking shouted at each other over this. They keep finger pointing. They blame each other. They try to embarrass each other over this. Every time this has happened, the politicians themselves bring this to light. What the fuck are you talking about? Why do we even have audits? Fucking the Islamic countries don't even have these fucking audits for us to see how embarrassing their fundings are. How we don't have any accountability like this in Islamic countries. At least in the United States, when you fail an audit, they make a big fucking deal about it. At least in the United States, we have such audits that are publicly available, that they make available to people. Show me such an audit in Egypt. Show me such an audit in Pakistan. Show me such an audit in Iran. It's a black hole. The Iranian people have no fucking idea how their military spends money. There's no audit to begin with. At least here they have audits and they fail it and they make a big deal about it.
Which they could not account for 800.
And look, guys, here's another fallacy. He thinks that because the date was close to the date of the fight, that means that the fight was meant as a distraction from this news. By the way, you think like, well, how is this like? Okay, the Pentagon failed this audit. How is this got to? What does this got to do with the Jews? What does this got to do with Israel? We'll get there. You think that this guy will not find a way to connect this to Israel? He will find a way to connect this to Israel. Pentagon failing an audit. It must be the Jews. It must be the Jews. I'm 99% sure that when Zizash has an itch in his anus, he's going to think that this is a Zionist. The Jews are in his asshole. The Jews have somehow found a way to make his ass itch. That's how he thinks. That's how he thinks. If he's looking for his car keys and it takes more than 2 minutes to find him in his home, he's going to think that the Jews have infiltrated his house and they have changed the position of his keys in his house just to be able to waste his time, take away, because he's such a powerful force against Zionism. So they misplace his car keys in the house to take his valuable moments away from him so that he becomes less effective against the Jews. I'm pretty sure that's how he thinks, okay? But we will get to how this is connecting to the Jews. But what I was getting at, correlation is not causation. Okay? If you fart and your mom calls you, right when you fart, it doesn't mean that your fart caused your mom to call you. Just because two things happen at the same time, it doesn't mean one of them caused the other one. You fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. I mean, if it wasn't this news, I'm pretty sure. I mean, we have a war going on in Syria and Lebanon and in Gaza right now. So if it wasn't this news, I'm sure you would be able to connect the fight with some other thing that is happening that you will claim that the Zionists are trying to hide. Guys, we have to take a step back. Remember, we're talking about a fight that had nothing to do with Israel, nothing to do with the Jews, and just remember how they're being connected right now. Let's look at the steps that this man is going to take to act like this was the Jews behind this fight. Okay, so let's watch this.
$124 billion. Not the couple of thousand that you probably have unaccounted for, and you've got the HMRC, you've got the American version of that banging down your door, repossessing your home, constantly badgering you with red notice letters. No. Over here, you've got 824 billion, mate. This is the economy of some of these LEDC countries.
Yeah, by the way, remember also there's no excuse for the Pentagon missing these audits, but 2 points. First of all, every year they are introducing new ways to try to fix this. Again, I'm not making excuses for them. Failing an audit there should be pressure on Pentagon for failing these audits. But also keep in mind how decentralized and how big and the huge level of money that the Pentagon is spending all across the world, with each one of them having to have some degree of autonomy, because or else it would be impossible to manage. Like, if you go through the details of what the fuck is happening, you could see why it's so hard to keep track of everything, because of the vast area of Pentagon that Pentagon is monitoring. Let me actually read this for you. Again, this is not an excuse, but the Department of Defense manages assets totaling approximately 3.8 trillion dispersed across 50 states and over 4,500 global sites. This extensive reach complicates comprehensive financial tracking and accountability. The DoD, basically the Department of Defense, operates with over 2,000 overlapping financial systems, many of which are antiquated and incomplete. Efforts to unify these systems have been ongoing since 1989, but progress has been slow, hindering accurate financial reporting. And the Pentagon procedures involve numerous contractors and subcontractors, leading to intricate financial transactions that are challenging to monitor and audit effectively. The DoD did not complete its first comprehensive financial audit until 2018, despite a 1919 congressional mandate for annual audits. This delay indicates a long-standing absence of a robust auditing culture within the department. So these are the actual reasons. Again, as a taxpayer American, you guys should want to pressure Pentagon to pass this audits. But the explanations I read to you are the actual explanations, not an excuse, but the explanation for why this is happening, right? So, but let's see what his explanations are.
Question arises, where did all of this money go? I know now a lot of us are thinking, it's probably unaccounted for because it's gone to Israel. Yeah, they've probably given a large chunk of it there. Well, it's not just Israel. As we know with the Iran.
That's how he connects it. He's like, no evidence, no fucking evidence, no fucking evidence. And like, hey, why did they fail the audit? Because they give it to Israel. You fucking idiot. The United States doesn't need to hide money giving to Israel. They brag about the money that they give to Israel. And also the money given to Israel, they would brag about it even more, because the money that they give to Israel gets spent buying weaponry from United States, which will create jobs in the United States. Why would they even need to hide that? You fucking idiot. Which one do you think the United States government would find more embarrassing? Giving money to Israel, which is something that they brag about, or basically failing an audit? You know, for example, you underestimate how many Americans actually support Israel. The average American taxpayer, if they wanted to have a negative perspective on their government, If the government says, like, we have everything accounted for, and here's a huge amount that we gave to Israel, that would be less outrageous to an American taxpayer than we don't know what the fuck where this money went. So it would have, if they actually spent that money on Israel and they knew where the money went, it would have been preferable to the citizen that the United States said, like, yeah, we know where it went. We gave it to fucking Israel. And Israel, and that's a good thing that we did that, because Israel is going to spend that money buying weaponry from us, which is going to create jobs in the United States. That is actually politically a more favorable position to have. I know there are some progressive that are going to scream and cry about, oh my God, why are we giving money to Israel? But that's not the average American taxpayer. The average American taxpayer would be more outraged about not knowing where the money went. So your conspiracy doesn't even pass Occam's razor. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You have no idea what you're talking about. Do you guys understand what I just said? How even without evidence, what he's saying doesn't pass a simple Occam's razor test?
Contra scandal. On the one hand, publicly America was against Iran, whilst on the other hand, they were having deals with Iran behind closed doors. You probably even know about Operation Paperclip, which after World War II, on the public stage, the NAZIs were being
Wait. They were doing, that was the deals as he's talking about. It was because they were trying to fight communism. At that point, the main enemy of the United States was communism. It wasn't these fucking Islamic lunatics. So they were trying to find a way to, and eventually it came out. Again, eventually, very soon it came out. These things don't stay behind curtains for too long.
Stage, the NAZIs were being publicly berated. However, there was a lot.
And also, even if it's true, that's not evidence. Okay? They say, like, oh, look, this thing happened once, so that's my evidence. You fucking idiot. Just because something happened somewhere else, that doesn't mean that this is exactly the same thing. You actually have to provide an evidence. Just because something could happen, it doesn't mean that it has happened. And also, your example is false because it's not even comparable. You're not giving all the details about that historic event. But anyways, I'm not going to go through that.
Large chunk of them that was flown back to America because of their know-how. Yeah, especially when it came to the space race. These guys were really good. And America had no qualms about using these ex-NAZIs to help them get to the moon. Alright. So,
wait, what is he talking? What the fuck happened? I don't know what he's talking about. He's speaking in codes. Can somebody translate this part to me?
Back to America because of their know-how. Yeah, especially when it came to the space race. These guys were really good. And America had no qualms about using these ex-NAZIs to help them.
X-N-A-Z-I, guys, what the... Oh. Yeah, why is there an X there?
Them get to the moon. Alright.
Wait, what is it? Is this a new conspiracy theory? I don't know. No, I don't think he denies the moon landing. He said the Americans got to the moon by doing what? Is this a new is this Nazis on the moon? Is this Nazis on... Is this a new conspiracy theory? Has a new conspiracy theory just dropped? Did I miss this one? Are we talking about moon Nazis? I don't know. I don't know this one. Okay, so America used German scientists for rockets. Yes, that's not even a conspiracy theory. There were some German scientists who left Nazi Germany, came to the United States, and they helped Americans. I mean, by that argument, is Einstein leaving Germany and coming and working with America? Is that also like... So what's the problem with that? That's a good thing. People who defect Nazi Germany and come and join the Americans. How is this a bad thing? How is this a bad thing? Like, is that what he's talking about? Is he talking about German scientists leaving Nazi Germany and coming working with our Americans? I mean, they're not Nazis anymore if they left Nazi Germany. How is this like... Why is this such a evil conspiracy. Like, yeah, that's great. Am I missing something here? Okay, I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, so some Chuck is saying they did not defect from Nazi, they were captured SS officers. Okay, well that's even better than, yeah, so you captured scientists and now you make them help you because they have knowledge that you don't have. I mean, defeating the Nazis in any way, that's, I don't know how's that. Give me the evil part of this. I don't know what he's referring to. I don't know exactly what he's referring to, but tell me why the Americans did a bad thing because they used some German scientists to get to the moon. I don't understand. I am not familiar with this part.
So, like that guy Pompeo was saying about the CIA.
I was the CIA director. We lied, we cheated, we stole. It was like we had entire training courses.
And you know the sad reality is that
yeah. So here's the thing. Let me tell you. These people are gonna find. I don't even know what he was referring to because he cut it out. I'm not going to say America doesn't do weird shit. If I watch the full clip of what Pompeo said here, I might even endorse what he's saying here. At the end of the day, if you're fighting ISIS, sometimes you need to do some. If you're fighting the Nazis, if you're fighting the communists, if you're fighting ISIS, Nazis, communists, sometimes you need to do. You're fighting some evil monsters, and sometimes you need to do some things to have the upper hand. In an attempt to destroy evil, right? However, would we endorse everything America has done? No. Obviously, America is by far better than these Islamic countries or Nazi regimes or the communists. When their standards, their morality is so far above any of these countries. Okay, and we celebrate that. Does that mean that we don't criticize America? No, American throughout its history has done some things that are evil, questionable, criticizable. It's not, we don't act like America's military and politicians are pure. Of course, there's a lot to criticize there. However, giving examples of things that United States has done before in history that we could point to and say like, okay, that was wrong. That's not evidence for Tyson and Paul fighting. And this was a deliberate fight set up by the Zionists who control the media in the United States to distract from the fact that the Pentagon failed an audit, which it's amazing that they even have an audit to show that to the American taxpayer that shit, we fucked up again. The fact that they have an audit shows that they're transparent. But they are doing this fight to distract Americans from the fact that they are giving all these, how much? Billions of dollars to Israel. I mean, if the amount that was missing in the audit, $2.4 trillion. If that has went to Israel, okay, Israel should be able to take over all of Asia and North Africa. $2 trillion. Yeah, sure, buddy. $2 trillion has went to Israel. Okay, so that's it, guys. This is the end of all forms of radical Islam. $2 trillion has went to Israel. Yeah, I'm okay, fine, sure, buddy. And this was the master plan to hide $2 trillion. There was a fight between these two. Yeah, this was to hide $2 trillion. Sure, god damn it, these idiots. And all the evidence they have is that the Romans said, bread and circus, and Americans have done some bad things, some previously in the past. And based on this standard, I could say, you're Muslim, Zizash. ISIS has done evil things. So because you're Muslim, I could just do guilt by association and generalization. I could say your channel is a conspiracy theory, is a propaganda tool to distract us from the fact that all Muslims, again, I'm not saying this, but again, if I was thinking like you, the level of generalization, want to invade the entire world and establish an Islamic caliphate, given what we have seen ISIS has done, given what we have seen Al Qaeda has done, and your channel is just a method of distraction away from that reality. If I wanted to use your level of evidence, your level of analysis, your standards, this would be a proper analysis of what your channel is trying to do.
Taxpayers' money. That's money that your mum and your dad and your brother and your sister have been bussing their behind, trying to keep their job just to keep food on the table, and the government sitting on their backside decides to take a chunk. And when it comes to news like this, they don't even have the guts to face the public. But
they published it. They published the audit, and they publicly told the public that we failed the audit. Okay, and also failing the audit doesn't mean that the money was wasted. I think he doesn't understand what audits means. The money has been spent on something that is making the world a safer place. They just, because of the reasons that I read to you just earlier, they suck at tracking it. That doesn't mean it went to waste. The US military and everything that it does, it's the only reason right now, it's the only force right now in the world that is maintaining stability and peace and global trade. There's nothing else that is keeping all of this together. The money that the audit is failing, so it's a huge chunk, right? So it's a huge chunk of the money that they're spending. But if you cut that part out, that money it's insane to think that all that money is going to Israel. He doesn't have any understanding of what these numbers mean, like the level of these numbers. But if you actually cut that number out, and if you didn't spend that money was being spent on something. All the bases the United States has all around the world, if it wasn't spending it on all of that, your life, I know you're an ungrateful piece of shit that doesn't understand this, but the things that you have around you would have been 10 times the price. The couch you're sitting on, the hat that you have, the healthcare that you have access to, your microphone, YouTube wouldn't be a thing right now. Do you guys understand that the level of technology that we have today and the level of economic advancements that we have today is because of the United States Army being the backbone of the level of the stability that is responsible for the peaceful trade that all the countries in the world are taking advantage of, even the enemies of the United States are taking advantage of? Do you guys understand if the United States was not there to police the world, the instability of world trade would mean that we would be 100 years behind where we are today? Do you guys understand that? Do you guys understand that all of our lives, whether you're American or not, all of our lives would be significantly less prosperous, less stable, less rich if we didn't have the current liberal world order that the United States military is backing? So you're an ungrateful piece of shit, Zizesh, for not understanding that. You don't understand what's happening here. No country will be able to fill that vacuum.
The public. But what's also interesting is this is the bread and circuses thing is not like a backdoor conspiracy. Have a look at this Sky News article from last year. They were accusing Saudi Arabia, who wanted to buy a British football team called Newcastle United, and they were accusing them of sports washing, which is a new terminology that pretty much says the same thing, that you're doing something bad in your country and then you're using entertainment to mask that and to cover it. And here they are again accusing China of sports washing as well.
Yeah, these accusations are correct because we have evidence for it. And again, these are non-liberal countries who have control over their media. The centralized authority actually meddles in the media. Do you understand the difference between Saudi Arabia and China are illiberal countries? United States government doesn't have such a control over their media. That's why their media is very critical of the government. Israel doesn't have such a control over their media. That's why the media in Israel is so critical of the government. If these liberal countries like Israel and United States had such a control over their media, like Saudi Arabia, like Iran, like China? Why is it that in these countries, in Saudi Arabia and Iran and China, we don't see this level of criticism of government, but in Israel we do see that, and in the United States we do see that, because these are private companies that are independent from the government. In the United States, we have some media that is by the government. So, for example, Voice of America, PBS, these are by the government, right? Yes. But most of the media that Americans watch is private and very critical of the government. So that's the difference. But what is your point here? You're like, oh, Saudi Arabia. Is he going to say Saudi Arabia does it? China, you guys are saying Saudi Arabia does it. You guys are saying China does it. And that shows that you're doing it. Is that what he's going to say? Is he that stupid? Guys, is he that stupid to say that my evidence for United States actually using its media, Western countries actually using their media to distract people from the things that they don't want people to know? My evidence for such an outrageous claim is that they accuse other people of such a thing. Is that his evidence? Let me see.
Of sports washing as well. My question is, how on earth do you know about this? Is it because your countries and your cultures have been using this exact same thing and continue?
That was his evidence. That's his evidence. I don't know, man. I don't know. How many views does this video get? Let me see. Like, I don't know, man. The level of stupidity. So let me see his channel. His channel has 1 million subscribers, and this video has gotten 123,000 views. He asked, "How do you know about this?" Did you take the time to go do 5 minutes of research to see whether, when we accuse China of Saudi Arabia of sports washing, whether there are journalists, investigative journalists that have a mountain of evidence for such a claim? And do you want to go compare the mountain of evidence that they have for such a claim compared to your so-called evidence, which is what? United States is using sports washing because they are accusing other people of sports washing. Wow. Holy shit, man. Holy fucking shit. What passes as evidence? I don't know, man. I'm speechless. I don't know how to deal with this level of lunacy. Fucking hell. And let me look at the top. Hold on. Let me look at this top comments and see what it's getting. May Allah help our brothers in Gaza. Excellent catch, Zishan. Oh, his name is Zishan. I keep saying Zizash. Excellent catch, Zishan. May Allah increase you in beneficial knowledge. Armin. Assalamu alaikum from the US. Give them bread and circus and they will never revolt. Okay, so basically saying the same thing. Thank you for bringing this news to our attention. Honestly, without you and Ali, I had zero idea. You are the only media source, mashallah. What the fuck? The Pentagon lost $2 trillion 2 days prior to 9/11. Then the invasion in Iraq happened. That costed $2 trillion. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, no, the comments are as idiotic as he is. Fucking hell, it's just like a sea of idiots. Fuck, man. I don't know, man. This is too much idiocy. I don't know how to deal
Continue
with it.
to do so? Is it because you hate the fact that they are cutting in on your act?
Yeah, wait. Somebody's saying. Yeah. That's actually a good point. Paganless in the live chat is saying, wait, who discovered this Pentagon thing again? Was it Saudi Arabia or the West itself? Yes, that's actually a good point. If they're trying to hide all of this, then why is it that the people who discovered that the Pentagon is failing the audit is the United States itself? Who is discovering this? It's the United States. They're doing, the people who are doing the audits, doing the investigations. That's America doing that. It's the American that are bringing us this knowledge. This was not like a revelation by China or Saudi Arabia. This is the exact thing they do with Israel. Like Israel, obviously, like every other country, has people who do evil things in it. But how do we know that? Because of Israel. Israel tells us that. Israel has investigative journalists that go and dig these things up and tell us. And these people come like, I have a revelation. Look how evil Israel is. Well, motherfucker, where's your source? Isn't your source Israeli media itself? You wouldn't know this. You wouldn't know this if it wasn't for the journalists in Israel unearthing these things. This is too easy, man. This is too easy. These people are too dumb. D is like, we had to do it because the Saudis were going to leak it. Oh, yes, the Saudis were about to leak it, and you just did it because fucking hell.
I mean, let's take football as a prime example. Here, you have the Premier League. You have the Champions.
By the way, guys, is Mike Tyson a Muslim? Is Mike Tyson a Muslim? I don't know. Some people in the chat are saying that. I think he is a Muslim. Are these people just butthurt that the Muslim lost? Let me do a search. Yes, Mike Tyson is a Muslim. I think that I'm just kidding, by the way. I think they just butthurt that the Muslim lost. Guys. I have no evidence for this. I'm just playing around, okay? But I would bet money that this would not be a distraction from the Jews making money if Tyson has won this. If Tyson had won this would be a demonstration of the superiority of Islam. Oh, by the way, what's that boxer that these people love? What is that boxer that these people love? There's this Chechen guy. I don't know my boxers. I don't follow sports, right? But I see sometimes in their channels, they're celebrating this Muslim boxer as if he's a hero. How come that's not a distraction from all of these things? I don't know. Yes. No, I'm not talking. No, guys, Tyson, I just checked. Tyson is a Muslim. Yes, Mike Tyson is a Muslim. He converted to Islam during. People are saying, Armin, you're thinking of Muhammad Ali. I'm not, guys. Guys, you're like, oh, Armin, you can't tell the difference between black people. No, I know what I'm talking about. I just checked. Yes, Mike Tyson is Muslim. He converted to Islam during his in the 1990s. There we go. So yeah, I was right about that. No, guys, Muhammad Ali, what the fuck? That's like ages ago. There's another Muslim boxer. He's like looks white. You guys don't know what I'm talking about? That he looks Chechen or something. That these Muslim YouTube channels, I don't know, follow them boxing, but I see that guy on their thumbnails all the time. Because every time he wins a fight or every time he comes and says something Islamic, these people jizz in their pants. He's like their hero. Maybe I'll find his name. Yeah, I don't watch boxing either.
Let's take football as a prime example. Here, you have the Premier League. You have the Champions League. You got the La Liga League. You got the Italia League. There's more as well. You got the Euro Cup. You've got the African Cup. You got the World Cup. We've got football tournaments coming out of our nostrils, mate. And this is just football. I haven't even got started on tennis, golf and cricket. So guys, if you don't know, now you know. Yeah, whenever big events like this happen, be very cautious about what they are trying to hide. And I want to conclude with a very interesting principle. Yeah, you've got two writers, George Orwell, who's written the book 1984, and that's where the term Orwellian comes from. People say that in the future, the dystopian future, governments will using coercion, control the public, and it will become very authoritarian. That's one school of thought. Then you've got Huxley, who's written the book Brave New World. He has a different theory. He says that the government will be using entertainment and superficial satisfaction. This fits in with the video that we're talking about, yeah? Giving entertainment and then getting the people to give up those rights of theirs and allow the government to come in. We're just used to this lifestyle, you know what I mean? And you have to make a bit of a compromise. Like with these smartphones, everybody knows that you're talking about hangers, coat hangers. Like an hour later, you'll see adverts of coat hangers coming up on your phone. We know. We don't read the small print of these social media companies and even the phone companies who give data to the military, give our data to these advertisers who then try to hustle us from our well-earned money. Hope you guys have benefited from this video. Let's leave it there. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, I'm glad you cleaned your nose, because usually when you used to do that, you used to hear a lot of smelly, a lot of booger in your nose. Anyway, so let's look at what happened here today, right? So, the claim is that this fight was for a distraction. Did you guys? And he was very like, I knew it. That's how he started the show. Like, I knew it, and I was waiting for it. Did you guys see any evidence that this fight was for a distraction or anything? Other than, oh, we have the Romans saying that, and some other countries do that. Like, did you guys see any evidence for this fight actually being a distraction? Other than, this was the evidence. The evidence was the Romans said that they do that. Okay. Sports washing. Americans blame other countries for sports washing. Okay, that's not evidence. What else was his evidence? Oh, when the fight happened was the same time that the Pentagon came and announces that they failed an audit. So correlation causation fallacy. That's not evidence. Okay, so we didn't see any evidence that this fight was a distraction. No evidence provided. Another claim was the funds that were missed. First of all, the funds that are not missing. They just haven't been accounted for. They have actually been spent. He's saying that all of that is actually missing. And he claimed that money, that $2 trillion or whatever, went to Israel. Do we see any evidence that money went to Israel? Or do you guys just love blaming everything on the Jews? So I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any evidence that it went to Israel, just you making that claim. It just seems like you just want to blame. Guys, is it me, or it just seems like they are stretching anything and everything to blame the Jews? This is the point of this whole video. When you see, is it Jake Paul? What's his name? I forgot. But Jake Paul and Tyson fighting, and we have a Muslim YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers and with 100,000 views coming. It was the Jews. Did you see anything in this fight that had anything to do with Israel or the Jews? My point is that if they could blame this on the Jews, what else do you think they could blame on the Jews? They could blame everything on the Jews if they can blame this on the Jews. Okay, so the money went to Israel. And also he made another claim is that all the claims of China or Saudi Arabia using sport washing as a tool shows that the United States is doing that. Unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. Like, guys, if you don't understand why this is the weather is also blamed on the Jews. actually, yeah. Maybe we should do a challenge. Maybe we should do a stream and come up with the most unlikely the thing that we could not blame the Jews for. Like, what is it that the Muslims would be impossible for Muslims to blame the Jews? And then find a way, and then challenge ourselves to see if we could actually, if we had a Muslim mindset, if we could blame the Jews for that. Like, maybe that would be a fun challenge. Like, what is something that is happening in the world that we think it's that one is impossible to blame the Jews, and then come up with the most creative way to blame the Jews. No, somebody saying jihad? No, actually, okay, this is funny. This is well, I will read the cat lady saying, is it actually unbelievable they blame Jews for the weather? Literally, yeah, they do. Here, this is actually funny. Somebody saying jihad. No, wait, hold on. So somebody saying jihad, they can't blame the Jews for jihad. They're doing it right now. Okay, right now in Syria, the jihad that Hayat Tahrir Sham, the HTS group, is doing against Assad supporters are saying that is Zionist jihad. So yeah, no, they do because they do blame some jihad on the Jews as well. See, so you find out something that you can't blame the Jews for. Not only they can do it, they are actually doing it on Twitter. Just go follow Syrian Girl's Twitter account. They're blaming the Jews for that. So no, try again. Try again. No, rather successful job. It is successful job. The HTS is right now being successful in Syria, and many people actually. That's the next stream that we're gonna do. The next stream that we're gonna do is we're gonna see. It's going to be a Muslim versus Muslim civil war. Right now is happening. Muslims are turning against Muslims, based on what's happening in Syria. And Susie have found a whole bunch of evidence for this, which is so much fun. And I'm going to show you how Muslims are turning on each other, blaming the things that are. So some Muslims are saying this. Some Sunnis are loving the HTS basically defeating Assad right now in Syria. And many other Muslims are like, no, fuck this shit. Assad is the axis of resistance against Israel, and it's Israel who's doing this. And these are Zionist jihadists, right? So it's a successful jihad. So we are going to show the internal fight between Muslims on the next stream. So make sure you subscribe for that. Yeah. So is there any other ways that we could blame the Jews? Like what can we blame the Jews for? I don't know. I'm gonna find something that is so ridiculous to blame the Jews for it that not even Muslims would do it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Some people say I do some member-only streams once in a while, and some of our members say that we didn't get the notification for that. Remember, if you don't, when you hit the bell notification, make sure you hit all. But also, if you have hit the bell notification on too many channels, then YouTube will not show some of them to you. So if you want to make sure that you see the the notification from this channel, maybe like reduce the number of channels that you have hit the bell notification on, right? And what else? Oh, guys, Susie asked me to remind you guys that we have given Tuesday. So if you want to support this channel, donate. Link is in the description. Remember that we are doing a lot of great work, especially on our Persian channel. So for people who are new here, we have an English channel and we have a Persian channel. And most of our audience on our Persian channel is in Iran. So the English channel is a defensive channel against the Islamic invasion of the liberal world, and the Persian channel, it's more of an offensive channel. So this is a defensive channel. The Persian channel is an offensive channel. Link to our Persian channel is in the description. We're actually making a huge difference on our Persian channel. We're becoming famous more in Iran. It's not just our YouTube channel. We also have a Telegram channel, because a lot of Iranians, because YouTube is filtered in Iran, and a lot of people watch us on with using VPN in Iran. But a lot of our audio, we extract the audio from our shows and we put it on Telegram, and people share it all over. So we're becoming very influential in Iran. So if you want to support what we're doing against illiberal values, especially Islam, support this channel, donate, but please do not donate if you're struggling financially. Just make sure you like, you subscribe, you leave a comment, tell me how I'm doing, tell me some nice things about this channel. I liked it. It gives me energy. Leave a comment telling me that I'm doing a good job. It provides me with some more energy to keep going, right? Also, criticisms are welcome as well. And recommend this channel. Recommend the Atheist Republic YouTube channel. I need you guys to advertise us to grow this channel. And yeah, Muslim, woman, life, freedom, and I'm Israel Kai. And yeah, so that's about it. I'm gonna do more reviews of these Islamic channels because it's just too stupid, and I'm not seeing enough pushback against it. And we need to do it. We need to do the pushback. So we're gonna do anti-Islamic channel content and also geopolitical content from the Middle East, because our analysis is a bit different from other people regarding what's happening in Lebanon, what's happening in Gaza, what's happening in Israel, what's happening in Iraq, what's happening in Iran, what's happening in Syria. We look at it from a different perspective than other places, and I think it's very valuable. So I'm going to do that as well. Anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you for liking the stream. Shame on you for not liking the stream. If you haven't liked the stream, what is wrong with you? If you have not liked the stream, please go spend some time, stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself, and ask yourself, what kind of a person that I am? I watched this content for 1 hour, and I didn't spend 1 second doing it, the most simple, basic thing that I could do to return the favor, to thank the channel by liking the stream. What sort of an individual would do such a thing? What is wrong with me? However, if you're going to do that, it takes less time to just like the stream. So you could save time not doing all of that by just liking the stream. So you could not do all of that self-questioning. Okay, so just like the stream, help this channel grow. And until next time, stay liberal, stay Zionist. Bye-bye.